An update from Sister Lucy Truth. As was even clear 2 years ago, but has become clearer over the past months, when we are dealing with the case of Sister Lucy dos Santos, the actual seer of Fatima, who predicted and witnessed the miracle of the sun on October 13, 1917, we find that we are clearly and undeniably dealing with a case of stolen identity that could be the result of murder, kidnapping, or illicit confinement. The overwhelming evidence backing up that assertion, plus the total lack of real scientific evidence that would argue the contrary, has been presented by Sister Lucy Truth in the public forum, accessible online at sisterlucytruth.org. Based upon the findings present in these reports, we have found that there was an imposter substituted for the real Sister Lucy of Fatima at least by the date of May 13, 1967, when the imposter appeared next to Paul VI when the latter was making an obligatory trip to Fatima to celebrate the 50th anniversary of the first apparition. The woman that appeared on that day has been scientifically identified as the same woman that appeared as Sister Lucy in 1982 when John Paul II, after the assassination attempt against him on May 13, 1981, visited Sister Lucy in his attempt to associate his recovery with the Fatima Apparitions and, seemingly, to prepare the ground for the claim that the third secret, given in 1917, was actually about the assassination attempt against him in 1981, even though, according to Sister Lucy, the secret was supposed to be released by 1960, because by that year, the content of the secret would be clearer. In light of the scientific findings in this case, we at Sister Lucy Truth assert that this first visit to the imposter in 1982 was the first stage of an attempt to hijack the third secret for John Paul II's own Neo-Modernist ends. Suddenly, by 2000 he was the hero and meaning of the third secret. We are convinced that this could only have happened if there was an imposter which long before had taken the place of Sister Lucy of Fatima. Now Sister Lucy Truth moves its investigation onto answering the questions: why it was done, how it was done, when it was done, who did it, and who was the substitute put in the place of the real Sister Lucy of Fatima. We will also seek the DNA proof that will render our case irrefutable. This, one of the greatest frauds in the history of the Church, was discovered through the use of the most sophisticated facial recognition programs available, along with the accumulated testimony of plastic surgeons, orthodontists, forensic artists, private investigators, handwriting analysts, and facial recognition experts. Due to the availability of hundreds of photos of Sister Lucy on the internet and in authoritative biographies, this case of substitution, fraud, and stolen identity has been able to be uncovered and analyzed. Without the judgment of the best and most relevant professionals available, we would not be making this grave accusation and presenting this charge. We will continue to accumulate and post on this site new studies and research concerning this investigation as they are produced and published. All of the names of the relevant experts shall be published along with their professional findings. The truth of the disappearance of the true Sister Lucy and the identity of the imposter who took her place will be placed before an internationally based private investigator who will investigate and solve the case. The fraud has been identified and named. We charge the highest officials in the Vatican with conspiracy to perpetuate and conceal the substitution of Sister Lucy dos Santos of Fatima with an as yet unknown imposter. See our investigation at sisterlucytruth.org. Please support us by donating at sisterlucytruth.org/donate. Thank you.